You know that feeling? You're constantly pushing, striving, building, and then out of nowhere, it feels like things start to fall apart. But what if that wasn't a sign of failure? What if it's actually a fundamental rhythm of the universe playing out in your own life? Okay, let's dive into this really profound concept from Eckhart Tolle and see how we can navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with a whole lot more peace and purpose.
So, to really get started, let's just sit with this powerful idea for a second. Tolle suggests that you aren't just this separate, limited person moving through the world. No, he says that in the very depth of your being, you are the universe itself, finding a totally unique way to experience life through your form. Now, that's not just pretty poetry. It's a huge shift in identity that, honestly, changes everything.
So how does the universe experience itself through us? Well, Tolle explains that it follows the exact same cosmic cycle that governs everything else, from our own heartbeat to the expansion and contraction of the cosmos itself. And within that cycle, every single human life is defined by two great movements. This slide really breaks it down beautifully. On one side, we have what he calls the outgoing movement. This is that phase of growth, right? Expansion, doing. It's when we're building our careers, acquiring knowledge and possessions, really establishing our identity in the world. But then, and this is inevitable, comes the return movement. This is the phase of dissolution, of aging, of loss, and the weakening of our physical form.
And here's where we run into a major conflict in modern life. Our entire civilization, it's built to celebrate and reward that outgoing movement. We are absolutely obsessed with achievement, with growth, with looking younger. And so we fear and we resist the return movement. We kind of hide away old age and treat dissolution like it's a failure, instead of what it really is, a natural and totally essential part of life.
But what if we've got it all wrong? Tolle completely reframes this. He argues that the return movement, that time when our external forms and our identities start to weaken, isn't some tragedy. He says it is the single greatest opportunity we have for spiritual awakening.
And here's why that shift is so crucial. As all the forms we've identified with, our jobs, our roles, our physical strength, as they begin to fade, we finally get a chance to discover who we are beyond all that stuff. The focus just naturally shifts from the constant doing of our youth to the profound stillness of being. It's like a journey home, a return to our true nature. Okay, so this brings us to the really practical part of this whole idea. I mean, knowing about these two movements is one thing, but how do we actually live in harmony with them? How do we infuse our doing with the power of being so we're not constantly fighting the natural flow of life? Well, Tolle offers a simple but incredibly powerful three-part framework for what he calls awakened doing. All right, the foundation of this entire practice, the first and most essential state of consciousness, is acceptance. Seriously, without this, we're basically destined to create suffering for ourselves and for others, no matter what we're doing. So let's take a look at what that actually means.
Now, let's be really clear here. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like a situation or that you condone bad behavior. It's not this passive state of just giving up. It is simply a conscious inner yes to the reality of this moment. It's just acknowledging what is so that you can act from a place of clarity and power, not from a place of angry resistance.
Let's make this super practical. Imagine you get a flat tire. The typical reaction for most of us is resistance, right? Anger, frustration, blame. Acceptance is just the simple, clear recognition, okay, the tire is flat. From that non-resistant state, your actions, whether it's changing the tire or calling for help, are just clear and effective. You deal with the situation without piling on a whole layer of negative energy that you created yourself. But acceptance is really just the foundation. Once you stop resisting what is, you can open up to an even higher frequency of consciousness. Enjoyment. This is where wanting and needing things can actually be replaced by a deep sense of joy as the real motivation for your actions.
Now, this slide highlights a really critical distinction Tolle makes, the difference between joy and pleasure. See, pleasure comes from something external, a person, an activity, a thing, and it often just feeds the ego's need for more. But joy? Joy is different. It doesn't come from what you do. It flows into what you do from deep within you. It's the feeling of aliveness itself, and it connects you so powerfully to the present moment.
Okay, the third and most powerful creative state is enthusiasm. Now, this isn't just about being excited or hyped up. No, this is a deep energy that arises when your outer actions become perfectly aligned with your inner purpose.
Enthusiasm is where it all comes together.
It combines that deep enjoyment of the present moment with a clear vision for the future. And here's the key. You're not striving to get to that future to finally be happy. You're coming from a place of fullness, allowing an inner vision that's already real inside you to manifest externally. It's an incredibly powerful creative flow.
And this isn't just about your own personal well-being. These three modalities, acceptance, enjoyment, and enthusiasm, they are the very tools for creating a better world. The state of consciousness you bring to your actions has this ripple effect that touches everyone and everything around you.
When you act from a place of presence, you're not creating enemies or opposition because you're considering the whole, not just your own separate, egoic needs. Your actions are no longer karmic, meaning they don't create more suffering. Instead, you actually contribute to a more harmonious reality because you're aligned with the good of all.
And this brings us to the ultimate takeaway from this whole explainer. No amount of action can really make a difference if the consciousness behind it is dysfunctional. The energy you bring to any task, whether you're running a company or just putting a plate on a table, is far more important in shaping your world than the task itself. The how is primary. The what is secondary.
So it all just comes down to this one question. This is the one question you can ask yourself at any time to see if you're truly aligned with life. What is your relationship with this present moment? Is it one of resistance or is it one of friendship? Is it dysfunctional or is it accepting? Because in that simple answer lies not only your entire future, but the whole quality of your existence, right here, right now.